Now. My time for indulgence on the old PS4 is kind of limited over the next couple of days because I am going in on Monday to have a hip replacement, and I don't know. I could be home within a couple of days. I could end up in a rehab for additional physical therapy, which is what happened with my knee replacement last year. But yeah, the hip's got to be done, and it could be a couple of days, it could be a week and a half or so before I return home, and even then, who knows how long it's going to be before I can comfortably sit in my favorite gaming chair, because this is the hip after all, and it might not be too comfy for a while. So tonight we are playing Neverwinter. I've been playing this a lot lately, and my devoted cleric, Antonius, is almost level 70. Perfect. Okay, alright, he's level 66. By the time I'm done with this last campaign, this is like the last of the main campaigns before you start getting into epic stuff. And I'm getting a message saying the internet quality is not sufficient for broadcasting. So we'll see how this goes. We'll shut down the computer for a bit. See if that helps. Yeah, so you're going into the Whispering Caverns. Which, like I said, if you go into the campaign here, this is the last of the main campaigns before we start getting into epic stuff like the Maze Engine, Elemental Evil, which is always fun, Sharandar. And then from there, the Underdark and Demogorgon, good old Demogorgon, Dread Ring, you know. So, I mean, technically, all this stuff here are Sharandar. I should have been able to start those a while ago. I'm done pretty well, but I wanted to finish the main campaigns. I mean, I am actually very over-leveled for this stuff, but I still want to get it. Just, you know, for the perks, the symbols, and the other little goodies. Get a greater enchanting stone out of it. 3 symbols of Savras, which I could get a healing stone. Possibly. If I haven't already purchased that, I might still be able to get some goodies out of there. But anyhow, yeah, tonight's agenda is the Whispering Caverns. Hop on Antonius's drive here.
The Underdark has a million ways to kill the unprepared. Most of them are quite gruesome. So, you're here to help. No one from the surface knows the North Dark like the Guild of Underdark Guides. But when we run into real trouble, we usually call in some serious muscle, namely experienced adventurers like you. The area called the Verdant Caves is like an oasis in the midst of a desert for those who venture into the...
Oh yes, we're off to kill some drow, among other things.
Few people on this... I joined the guild as a means to pursue my study of the flora and fauna of the Underdark. Not many sages are willing to risk the perils of these underground realms, but I find it invigorating. I'm currently studying the various natural toxins found in this region. With a little study, I should be able to formulate antidotes for most of them. Of course, the hard part is collecting samples. It would really help me out if you could gather some venom samples from the spiders that infest the verdant caves.
Oh, sure. Spiders. I don't have a problem.
If you think living off the
spiders.
land is tough on the
No.
surface, you should try it 3,000 feet underground. I never thought I'd end up in charge of provisions when I joined the guides. But I was a ranger for several years up above, and finding food in the wild always came easy for me. When we found the verdant caves, I planted a whole lot of bitter berries there. But just as they were ready to harvest, the drow returned. Now Davlin won't let me venture out to gather my crop. If you're heading out to the caves, I'd appreciate it if you could gather those bitter berries. We need every bit of nutrition we can find out here.
Yeah, because, we can't have you getting fucking scurvy or anything like that, jeez. Well, get your berries. Okay. Oh, wait. I missed one. Let's go visit everybody here.
I've dedicated my life to charting these steps. The Guild has compiled the most complete atlas of the Underdark in existence, but there is still an immense area yet to be charted. So, as you may imagine, we are always pleased to build on reliable cartographic work already done by the Underdark's various races. To put it bluntly, we steal maps
Blah,
from
blah,
the
blah, blah,
landforms
blah.
found
Where's the map?
As
Blah,
you
blah,
travel
blah,
through
blah,
these...
blah, blah. Anyhow. Oh, look at the widow spiders. Look at the widow dead spiders. We get the venom samples. La 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 la. Bitter berries. More widow itty bitty spiders. Bye, widow itty bitty spiders. More venom. Like I said, I am very, very over leveled. At this point, my companion could probably just obliterate everything. Bye, spider. More spiders. More spiders. Maybe the salt shit. Anybody else? Okay. Let's take a look. So, I've actually got this companion across my entire account. Each of my puppets has the Cimrel companion here. The Cimrel Holiday Helper, I believe is what she's called. Literally, I won her during the Winter Festival. Second or third night that I began playing this game. I've been playing almost 2 years off and on. Lately, more off than on. Did take an extended break. But anyhow, yeah. I acquired her, and I'll tell you something. She is just a gem. She throws snowballs at the enemies. And even early game, when you at lower ranks, she just obliterates the dungeon bosses in the early stages of the game. When you're low level yourself, and she is a big help if you're lucky enough to have her as a companion. Use the living hell out of her, for sure. But anyway, I am being attacked here. Oh, hey, look, there's a drow hunter. Well, I'll use a flame strike. Boom. Hey, look, I think that spider's kind of crispy. Oh, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I definitely need to sell some shit. Not that I actually need a lot of potions at the moment. Anyhow, let's move on. How many spiders? We got 2 more spiders to kill. Easy enough. And there's some more berries. There's our venom sample. I got all those. And I need one more. I have a phone call. Just a moment, please.